Hello everyone, happy Friday. Can you believe it's the last day of January and February is right around the corner? Today we're making a fun fold card called a zigzag fun fold. So isn't that cool? So that's the last day of my calendar. I will be coming out with a new calendar tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll be sending it out. I also have a new February class coming up. We're using the mixed media paper and mixed labels stamp set and dies. So that will be coming out in an email. If you'd like to get this calendar, the February calendar, you can sign up for or subscribe to my email. And then you'll get information on my classes and weekly roundup, all that's going on at Stamping Up. So just click below, there's a link, subscribe to my email, and you will get them. So this card, I really did a lot of research on it because I love the way it looks, but I was nervous about how to cut all of these pieces. So it opens up, you've got a piece here, you've got a piece here, and there are all these angles, and I just was like, oh. So I did find Colleen Magness. I hope I'm saying it right. She's Creating With Colleen. She did this a couple of years ago, and just put the formula together on how to figure it out, and it doesn't matter what size. So you can make this angle higher and this will work. So I'm so happy because I thought, am I going to be cutting it, moving it down, cutting off the bottom? So anyway, this card, I think it's so cute. I love this paper. This is a Stampin' Up! Sale-a-bration paper. It is called Toadstool Gardens, and you can get this for free when you spend $50 on products, you know, before shipping and tax. It's a nice, you get a lot of sheets, but it's nice, fun patterns. The colors are great. And you've got to love the toadstools or mushrooms or whatever you want to call them. So I like this paper. There is also a stamp set that I used, terrific toadstools. And this actually has a punch. Let me just get that. So you can get the stamp set by itself, or you can get it in a bundle with a punch. And this punch will punch out this and this and this. So you can punch and build easily a toadstool. And then you can get this paper for free. And Sale-a-bration, we're halfway through. There's one more month of it. They are adding more products next week, and you can either get what's in the Sale-a-bration brochure. So it goes through January 28th, and these are the products you can get for free when you do a qualifying purchase or order either $60 or $120. And I just want to remind you that this is an amazing time to sign up, purchase a starter kit with Stamping Up, and get free product. So during Sale-a-bration, if you do sign up, there's two options. You can either, both options, you spend $99 and there's free shipping. So that's a big plus right there. You're going to get $125 worth of product, which is our normal starter kit. But during Sale-a-bration, you can add 2 marker sets in our color families. So we have brights, subtles, regals, neutrals, and you can get the 2 of these. And these are the Stampin' Right ones. These are the ones that are water-based, not the blends, but these are the ones that you can color on your stamp set. You can use water and watercolor with them, use blender pens. They're really great. So you would get 2 sets plus this Handmade Designs, which has some really open stamp images that you can color with them. If you already have these, you can pick out $30 of free product on top of the $125. So you'd get $155 dollars worth of product for $99. And it's whatever you pick. You don't have to, there's no starter kit, like official starter kit that you get. You pick whatever you want. So that's a plug. If you were interested, you can contact me and I would love to talk to you about it. You would be on my team. We are the PS Paper crew, and I would love to have you join. So let's get on with this card. So I think I told you the products, and then I used This is Melon Mambo. So I use these Sunny Day iridescent dots just to do this. And the label, and I'll have all of this in a project sheet. The label is from the Something Fancy dies. These are great because they layer and there's a lot of different shapes and stuff. So that is this card. So for this one, we're going to use different product. I like to show, you know, how to make the same card with different products, different papers, different sentiments and stamps. So we are using the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper, and this is an oldie but goodie. I like to use a paper that has, you can coordinate like 3 different patterns, right? So they kind of all go together. And most of our papers have this, but some of them work better than others. So I'm going to use this for the front. I'm going to use this for the inside, and then I thought I would use this for this so that it would be backing up against this. I think that would be pretty. Let's see if there's anything else in here that would work better, but those are the choices I came up with. So there's some pretty cool patterns here. And again, this is an oldie. I like this pattern as well. So we're going to go with what I came up with. The thing with this card is, to make it like this, you do need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock for your card base. And I only have white, so I really stuck with white, but I think white works for any card. If you had, you know, an 8.5 by 11, you could do it. This wouldn't, either you can change the scores and make it a little bit narrower, or I've seen some where the front piece only comes like to here, and that is beautiful as well. So if you don't have 12 by 12, you can follow the measurements exactly as I do. It's just that this piece would be shorter, or you can change your measurements to divide your 11 by 3 equal pieces. Hope that makes sense. So let's get our card base. This is my 12 by 5.5. So it's 12 across by 5.5. And we are going to get out our trimmer and score it into 3 equal sizes. So we're going to score it at 4. Let me make sure I'm in here. And we want to use the light gray, which is our scoring. We're going to open this arm up because we want to go out to 8. So 4, 8, 12, right? 4, 8. Okay, and then what we want to do is, let me just close this up. We're going to measure up. And what Colleen said was, you know, she did 2 inches. She said if you wanted this to be higher, you could make it higher, you could make it lower. But I like the 2 inches. So we're going to come in here and bring it up to 2 inches. And I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. 2 inches, we're going to make a pencil mark right at 2 inches. And then what we're going to do is cut it this way, right? We're going to this way. All right, I have to think. All right, so we're going to put this line into our track here, and then we're going to put this, just want to make sure I'm in. Can you see me here? This fold, the far fold, so we want to cut this across just like that. So we're going to get our cutting blade and go all the way across. So we went from the 2-inch little mark all the way to where this fold is. And then this you can use for scrap. Let's put this aside for a second. And then we're just going to burnish this. And I see I need a new blade. You see it's a little bit turned, so I'm going to do it this way. I guess that makes that one burned. Let me get my, let me just burnish this down so that it's doesn't have this. I was looking for my blades, and I know I have them and I can't find them. So either I'll have to keep looking or order another set. You can get the cutting blades, and you can also get the scoring blades. So we just want this to look nice and pretty here. All right, so now we have our card base. So beautiful. So let's erase this little pencil mark, and we're going to do a lot of pencil marking on this card. So have your pencil with an eraser handy. So the way Colleen said to do this is you're going to look at each of these as if it were a piece, a square piece, okay? So the first piece we're going to use is for this front panel. And what you want to do is measure it. I know it's 4, but I'll just show you. So you're going to measure 4, but we want to have a kind of a border behind it. So we're going to go to 3 1/4. So whatever it measures, we're going to come down 1/4. And then we're going to go this way, right? And this is 3 3/4. I hope you can see that. So 3 3/4. So we're going to do 3 1/2. So we're going to do 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. Okay, and we want the 3 3/4 to go this way. So if your paper is directional, you want to make sure that you cut it the right way. So we're going to cut it 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, so now this would be a full, without the angle, this is going to be kind of your full piece here. So now what we're going to do is measure up here and come down 1/4. So we know this is 2 inches. Get my ruler out again. So this piece is 2 inches. So we're going to cut this, we're going to mark this piece at 1 3/4. So we're going to mark it at 1 3/4. I just want to make sure we're in here. 1 3/4, and we're going to mark it. Okay, and then, so make sure we're doing this right. We want it to go this way. Okay, so we're going to put this mark in the groove, and we're going to come right up to that point. And you're just, whatever measurement your card pieces are, that's how you're going to measure it. You're just going to go up 1/4 of an inch. So we have that nice 1/4 of an inch border around it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So then we're going to do the same thing on, is it this one? We're going to put this, no, this one. So I thought this would look good. I hope it looks good. Let's put it on here. Let me put this down. I have a blade hanging out there. So I thought this piece would look nice behind it. It picks up the green, right? So for this one, we know that this is 4 inches by, we're going to go up to this high point, by 5 1/2. Okay, so we want to go down 1/4, so 3 3/4, down 1/4 from 4 is 3 3/4, and then 5 1/2, so we want to do 5 1/4. So I'm going to do the 5 1/4 first, because I don't want to cut this whole thing. This is a nice 4-inch piece I'll use for another card. And then we're going to do 3 3/4. Okay, so that will fit in here. So this was 4 by 5 1/2. Excuse me, I just had a sneeze. So this here is 4 by 5 1/2. So now this piece is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to measure up to here. This is so brilliant. This is 3 3/4. So we're going to mark it at 3 1/2. And I'm going to mark it down here. Not up here, but right in the groove. And then we're going to, is that right? Yes. We're going to put the mark in the track and the point in the track. It confused me a little bit. And then this will fit nicely right in here like this, right? So we're getting our pieces together. And then we have one more piece. So this one is a little bit different just because the angle's going the opposite way. So don't let that confuse you like it confused me. All right, so then this one, again, this is a pattern all over. And we know we're going to go in 3 3/4. And it's the same size really. So I'm gonna go 5 1/4. No, I'll go 3 3/4. Because this is not just a 4-inch piece. Okay, I'm talking to myself. So 3 3/4, and that's going to fit in here. And then this should be the same size as what we just did, 5 1/2. So we're going to do 5 1/4. So we're going to go to 5 1/4 and cut it. And then we should be going up, I believe we said 3 1/2. So this is 3 3/4. So we're going to mark it at 3 1/2. And is this a certain way? It kind of is an all over pattern. So 3 1/2. And if you do have a pattern that's directional, you do have to really pay attention to that. So that is going to go, let's make sure. So we're going to cut it this way. So we're going to put that in the track and this in the track. I hope I'm not losing you. All right. Now, that was the hard part. Now all we have to do is decorate. So let's put this together and get all our pieces. That's going to go in that way. This is the front, so let me get my adhesive. So I'm going to use my Seal Plus, and I'm going to try to get up in that corner. Okay, and let's put this down so we have an equal border all around. Let's get rid of this and this. Okay, so pretty. And then we have this, nope, this piece. And I can imagine that you could, if you thought about it, cut these together. So this is going to go on here. And this is going to go here. You would have to just have them with the outsides on the outside and the place that's going to get covered in adhesive on the inside, if that would be easier. Because this is thin, you can easily cut two pieces at the same time. Okay, so let's adhere this down. This is such a pretty green. I think this is Shy Shamrock. Doesn't that look pretty together? And I do wish I had colored cardstock, because I would definitely pick different colors if I had it. Maybe Berry Burst. There's Berry Burst in here. And then this piece will go here, or the Shy Shamrock would be nice too. I just never buy the 12 by 12. It's good for, you know, if you're doing 3D projects or things like that, but I should have a few colors anyway. Okay. Now what Colleen did was she put a piece of another piece. I'm trying to think of a color like this. So maybe that would be nice. And then she just put, she cut it and had white down below. Why don't we do that? Because I think that's pretty when it's closed. Doesn't that look nice? So I'm going to cut this. Let's see how far down this is. Get the ruler out again. We live and die by the ruler. Maybe 2 inches. So let me get my trimmer back out and cut it down to 2 inches. And she just put it on a white layer, and she had a piece of, I think, ribbon or trim around it. So let's see what we can do with that. So I have my white layer now. You have to remember, this is only 4. It's not 4 1/4. So your inside layer is going to be 3 3/4. And then she had this. And she put something here. Let me see what I can find. So I have a piece of Shy Shamrock bordered ribbon. I feel like it's a little bit longer than I want, the piece. Can we go a little bit shorter? Let me trim it down just a hair. I'm gonna go like 1/4 of an inch. Let's see if that works. Hopefully it will. It's only paper, right? So if we put this down, and close this up and put this on it. I don't really want the ribbon to show. That's my only problem. The ribbon will have to come down lower. Okay, let's do that. And then I also wanted to stamp. So before we put this down, let's decorate the front. I am picking the stamp set. Where do I have it? Here it is. So I'm doing the Unbounded Love Happy Birthday. And then I thought I would put a flower up top, but I think I'm going to go with this because I think it looks pretty closed. And then the Unbounded Love dies. So there's the die that will cut this. This has a ton of different dies, but I like this because it has the scallop and the stitching, and it fits the Happy Birthday nicely. And I thought we could use Berry Burst. That's one of the colors in the paper. So we'll get Berry Burst. Let's try it out. Looking good. And we'll put it right on here. Berry Burst, Happy Birthday. And then I thought on the inside, I'm not going to attach this until I stamp it, but I want to lay that there so I have a feel. And then there's a sentiment that says, may all your wishes come true. So I'll put that right here. Still room for you to say something on top and bottom. And let's get this, and we're just going to cut it a little bit wider than the layer. And I'm going to get some Scotch tape. Well, let's put it down first. That would be helpful. Okay, so we'll adhere this. So these are 2 different looks. You could either stamp or do this layer on it, and then we'll get a couple of pieces of tape. And I really want to put this toward the bottom. And we'll put this down. Let's see how it's going to sit in here. Very good. All right. So let's put this down. And this is very strong. This is the Snail Plus, so it's very strong adhesive. A little bit is all you need. And we'll put this right like this. Center it. Close it up. Put this on with some dimensionals. And then we can add some bling to it. I feel like the sun is hiding behind a cloud. All of a sudden it got dark here. I hope it's okay for you guys. So I'm going to just put 2 more of these. Our lovely dimensionals, my favorite. One of my favorites. Although in the wintertime it's very staticky. I find them everywhere. Did you ever do that? You go into the bathroom and all of a sudden there's a dimensional there. They follow me everywhere. Not a dimensional, but the backing. All right, so I also thought we could use the, these are just some of my favorite ones. These are the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. There's a 4-pack and a 3-pack, and these are Berry Burst. So let's just get our Take Your Pick tool, and we'll put one here, and then one here, and then a little guy next to it. All right, and you can decorate here or here if you want, but I think this is pretty. Happy birthday. May all your wishes come true. And then popping up to say hi, and you can put something in here or just, you know, write a note. The one thing I would try to do in this one, if you write a note, try to write it down here so you don't see the writing when it's closed. That's one thing with some of these kinds of cards, is you want to make sure that you're not, you know, they open the card and you see words here that you've written. But aren't they cute? So again, if you want to subscribe to my email list, you'll get the calendar for next month. I don't know what we're doing next Friday. I'm still figuring all that out. It's just about done, but I don't have it all printed out yet. And then Sale-a-bration, new Sale-a-bration items are going to come out next week, I believe February 7th, 4th or the 7th. If you wanted to get the starter kit and get a whole lot of product for a little bit of money, just, you know, you can message me, leave me a comment, email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com, and I would love to talk to you about it. All right, you have a great week and stay warm. Bye.